And we're back with some more Dream Engine Nomad Cities. And I maybe just did a quick restart so that we could do this a little bit more efficiently this time around. Same difficulty, same everything. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this is sort of a weird base builder, a bit like, I think, Against the Storm. You start on this base pad, but you can build buildings outside of it. However, eventually, waves of enemies will keep attacking you again and again and again, and you have to run away. You do just hit this takeoff button and everything on the platform will be taken with you, assuming you can carry it. There's like carry weight limitations, fuel stuff, all sorts of junk. And basically you have to hop from location to location, map to map, and with the difficulty ramping up all the time until eventually you get to the end of the research tree. And at the end of the research tree there is this thing, a nullifier shield. Well, this is my guess based on the text. This thing you build, enemies will go nuts and try and kill you while you're building it or charging it up. Once it's charged up, you are safe, and then you can settle there permanently, and that would sort of be the end game, I presume. I don't know. I've never gotten that far. So right now we're all the way down here, and I think we're just going to queue up a bunch of stuff. You know what? Yeah, you can go, you can go, you can go. Yeah, all of this. Why not? What I'm going to do here is knock out all the early stuff, and grab this thing here, Featherstone. It allows us to turn things we kill into a resource we can use, and then go down here for an infrastructure upgrade, which basically gives us a free infrastructure upgrade point. First thing we want, though, workshops. Thing I realized pretty early on is you gotta get lots of research done. If you want to get anything, any progress really going on, the only things that stick with you everywhere are research and these upgrades right here. This is the infrastructure upgrades, and these ones are basically just a global bonus. Doesn't actually cost you anything to maintain them. You don't have to worry about transporting them from area to area, and I'd like to get our hands on housing as quickly as possible. More workers is more resources, and more resources is more good of everything. Anyway, in the meantime, while all of your upgrades and stuff are going on, your best thing to do is go out and clear out the map. That's basically what I'm doing, going around and clearing out all the bad guys. So build on one end and then shoot the little... This thing is... The only thing that I dislike about the game so far is that all of these little things are a little bit too easy. Or not too easy, they just don't have enough personality. You kind of want your baddies to have sort of definable characteristics. These things just seem like a blob. If you've ever played... Oh, what's the one? Oh, They Are Billions, that's the one. They Are Billions, like all of the bad guys in that have like nice definable personalities, even if they are a bunch of zombies. These things just, I don't know, how are these nightmares? Yeah, never mind. I'll keep cleaning stuff out and teching up, and we're also going to put our hands on a bunch of upgrades. Now, the first thing we researched was this workshop stuff. Workshops go down here, we feed them in wood, and the workshops churn out this output upgrade materials. Upgrade materials goes in here, and once we get 10, 20, I don't know if it's 30 or 40 points, whatever, we can buy points to actually upgrade stuff. And I think the first thing is going to be administration. This increases flux and power production, which are basically just baseline stuff. And then the next thing we can get is just a free 15 workers, which, yes, we also want. That gives us... Actually, how's our power looking? Right, consumed 42. We need more power. Damn it, but we've no... See, this is the balance. We have a lot of stuff going on, but we kind of want to turn stuff off and balance it out, because to get more workers, we need more power. To get more power, we need more workers. To get more workers, we need more food. To get more food, that requires more power. And, we also need flux, which requires power, which requires workers, which requires more food. It all just comes back to workers and food, and that's why you want more research and upgrades so that you need less of all of the buildings, which makes things just massively more efficient. As we wander around, our research and all that kicks in, and that at any time we can just go right back to town and to our buildings. Fortunately, you kind of got to stay in this view when you're doing it. If you're little robot guys in here, this is the only view you can get. Some people don't like it, but it is what it is. Now, this next bit is the important one. We built ourselves those two little manufacturing things over here, and they are churning out these upgrade materials. Those upgrade materials now give us another one. Boom. So, actually it's 10 per upgrade, right. And this gives us the option to do, like, by clicking 1 into administration, we can now do all the level 1 administration upgrades. If you want to do upgrades 2, you gotta have at least, 1 to 4? I don't know, we'll find out later. We might have to get up to level 4 before we can do the second level upgrades, but this one here is the one we're interested in. Worker capacity plus 15. Right now, we are at 40 worker capacity, which is, like, terrible? But this gives us 15 free. Normally, we would have to build a house. House costs us 1 food and 1 power to run. This is just more people, and more people means we can do dumb stuff like, say, build a power generator. Power generator just costs people and flux, and if we need more flux, we can just build a flux generator, which costs us power and people. So more free people is just more of that, which is why I immediately went for that tech. This is going to be very useful. We just got to wait until the people build up a bit before we can really spend them, though. It takes a while for this house, or what is it called, City Core, or the Dream Center, whatever, to generate more people. But while that's going on, we can go back to murdering stuff out here. Nope, threat level just went up. That's sort of the thing. The longer you spend on any map and the longer you do anything, the more the threat level goes up. And then there's a global threat level as well. So we're sort of on a clock here, which means I've got to be constantly building, killing, expanding, but not expanding too much because otherwise well, you can't really expand too much because of the way they've designed the you're limited by population, and population is limited by, well, research. So once we got to get like as far down the research tree as we possibly can before we move, so that next time we can build up just a little bit smarter and better, so that we can research even more and do it all over again, and hopefully not die along the way. To help out with our improvements, we've doubled up on research, we've doubled up on material production, or upgrade production, and hopefully we can hammer those out pretty quickly. We're basically just shunting all of our resources into research and upgrades. Nothing into defense at all. We are relying entirely on this little robot thingy, which reminds me, I should maybe do a little bit of crafting of some spare resources for this poor guy because, well, they're probably going to end up getting hurt some more. We do have 6 wood, or enough wood to make some more repair kits, so yeah, well, there you go. You'll probably be fine. Well, looks like our population's gotten large enough that we can elect a city council. It's up to you as overseer to select the head of council from within these councilmen and use... Okay, for each council has different bonuses and penalties that will apply if you select them. I don't like any of these. They all seem like they come with negatives, like materializers getting a production bonus. That doesn't do us any good because we don't have any materializers. Expeditions, we don't have any of those. Movement speed, that's pretty much the only one that affects us. Plus, it's a science faction, so we can increase our bonuses with science, which hopefully in the long run will be good. Movement speed does reduce our damage a wee bit. Okay then. That's, wonderful. Let's see what that does to our movement speed here. Or is it the movement speed of our city? In fact, I'm not even sure. Somewhere along the way, we unlocked city expansion, which is this little thing down here. It seems to give us a block of tiles we can put down to expand our city out. I think I'm just going to do it where the housing is. I kind of want to extend that housing out, and it's been quite efficient so far, so... Done. Can you do more of that? Oh. Totally can. We're still stuck on weight, though, so we're going to have to make sure to remove stuff. If we go above the carry weight, we can't take off, so we have to remove buildings before we move. What's the cost of this? Oh, that is rather expensive. That's going to cost a lot of, well, everything, so no, we don't really need more space to bring stuff with us. That's fine. Thank you very much. All right. Oh, and when it comes to infrastructure down here, we've got 2 points into administration. We're going to get another 2 points in there. Then we're going to get our hands on some more people. And we're probably going to pump points into upgrade production. It just means we can produce more upgrade parts, which allows us to pump more points into infrastructure. We're basically just going down the give us more points to build more upgrade stuff to build more upgrade stuff. That's sort of where we're going. And in here, we're trying to go for infrastructure upgrade, which gives us a free infrastructure upgrade point. Because of course we are. We've got our first raid inbound. It's that skull-looking thing over there. I presume it's... I'm not actually sure which direction it's going to attack us from, but I'm going to try and go and preemptively start a fight with them. However, I think they're probably going to go through the middle, are they? I've tried to put a few turrets in the way. As long as the city stays put, the derp raids will continue, blah, blah, blah. Basically, run away when things get bad is the whole... Yep, there they are. Yep, let's just run. Oof, they seem pretty tough. Let's, well, now that we know where they're coming from, what we can do is just go back and put down more turrets. I'm thinking another turret right here should do the trick. It should only require about 2 this early on. You. Done. And then we just go back to this guy. And we can maybe give them a little bit of a shooting up as we go. Nope, nope, nope. That's maybe draw them back a little bit closer. If you guys would not get distracted by my buildings, that would be great because... Ooh, perfect. Nice. We don't even have to rebuild anything. That was... Well, okay, in all fairness, that was just the first raid, so we weren't expecting anything too crazy. Done. Now, let's continue exploring and wiping out the map. We are continuing to explore the outsides of the map. We are actually doing pretty well. We've got most of the map explored, though we still find the odd random bandits coming in from the middle of nowhere and attacking us, but that doesn't matter. The important bit right now is we have finished 2 things. One, we've got our piece of research into infrastructure upgrade, which gives us a free one. The second thing that we've got going on is we've actually acquired another 70 pieces of upgrade material. Well, built them. So that's 2 upgrade points. We can put 1 point into administration level 4, and then another point into housing, which will give us 25 more people. And I believe that's free. I don't think you even have to pay them food. Right now our food is at plus 0.8. We're going to crank that up by plus 25 people. And I'll come back in a minute when we've got a few, and I can show you just how powerful that is, because it seems like I'm looking at all the other techs and all the other upgrades, and I'm like, what is the point of them in comparison to the power of this? Oh, great. Another raid. I think it's time we went back home and built a whole bunch of defenses on one side. Yeah. Thankfully, we've got a whole bunch of people, which will give us power and everything we need to defend. Checking out the available routes they have to attack us, I think I'm going to encourage them to come this direction. We've built a bunch of towers at the end, and you guys want to attack now? Oh, and research-wise, we're getting our free expansion slot, and then I'm thinking we might actually upgrade our whole city so that we can carry more stuff with us. That seems to be reasonably, well, affordable. Oh, and when it comes to our next upgrade, that's going to be once we get up to 90 infrastructure points, which is a long way away. We'll worry about that when it comes, though we probably will get upgrade production, which will increase the speed of our upgrade resources even more. Because of course we will. Oh, yep, here they come. I was kind of expecting them to be... Oh, yeah, that guy's actually pretty tough at the front. That's okay, that's okay. Once you're dead, which should be fairly quickly... Please tell me I'm taking them the right direction. Yes, this is one with all the turrets. Excellent. Done. Ah. Oh, there's one more wave coming from this direction, and there's 2 coming from the other way over here. Yeah, I kind of was anticipating that, so I put some turrets here too. Ooh, okay, that's a lot. Stop killing my buildings. Those things are expensive. Can't even see what I'm shooting at, but I think it's dead. Okay, there's still 1 wave left. I'm not sure exactly where they are, but I think that went reasonably well. We can repair a bunch of this stuff. Yeah, that costs a little bit, but whatever. Done and done. That puts our power back, hopefully, in the green, and we can go around and collect all this junk that they dropped. Oh, wait, there's still some more. Never mind. There's some biggies. Just die, why don't you? Seriously, just die really quickly. Oh man, killed a bunch more stuff. I should have walled that area in. It's probably fine. We can afford this. Probably. Seriously? Is there more stuff I'm worried about in a minute? Right, enemy is dealt with. That threat wave or whatever it is done, and now we can take advantage of all of those extra people we got. Well, not all of them. There's still a bunch more that need to get popped or done. Whatever they do when they get made in the dream thingy in the center. I thought I'd go over why population is just so stupendously overpowered. I can't see any other tech that I would potentially go for down here that... let me just try and demonstrate. Yes, Flux. You need this for building just about everything, and it's great. To build Flux, you build one of these things. We get about 6.1 because of the upgrades we've got, but it costs 1 person, you get 6 Flux. Great, but it also costs 1 power. So just say we wanted to make ourselves a bunch of Flux, we could put down these, but we're going to need to build a power plant first. So, power plant, what does that cost? 2 people, and a little bit of Flux. So 2 people will give us, say, 10 power. Then with that, we could then run 10 of these Flux things. They take 1 person apiece and 1 power apiece. So that means we could get 10 of these, which gives us about 60 Flux, and would cost us in total about 12 people. So for 12 people, we can get a 60 Flux increase, which I think we're going to do. And that's going to cost us wood, though. So wood is over here. Now, wood, I think we're going to strip mine a lot of wood from here, because the wood places, you can upgrade them using just wood and Flux, which they make because they produce wood. We can't go up to level 2 because that requires a special type of wood. We'll worry about that in a minute. So we've upgraded all of these already. It just costs Flux and wood. Food-wise, these... potato things just cost Flux to upgrade, which increases our food for our people, which is why we want Flux. And at the same point, where was it? Ah, yes, these things over here. The workshops. These things require this sort of weird stone type thing. I can't remember what it's called. Flintstone or something. We can't get that on this map. Same with our power generators and same with our research labs. So we're probably going to want to wait till the next map to upgrade those. However, the city core can be upgraded. All we need is, well, a whole bunch of Flux. So I'm thinking we're going to take about 13 people, put them all into producing an enormous amount of flux, and then we're going to strip mine as much wood out of this map as we can before we leave, and possibly get our hands... Oh, and we're also going to upgrade our stonework production, which only requires the stone it makes and some flux. So as you can see, we need lots and lots of flux. Even with plus 56 flux, we keep running out of this stuff. We're going up to over 100 if we don't have any hope of getting ahead of this. There, a quick 10 flux plants and 1 power plant. Done. That'll keep us in the green in flux and power for a while longer. We've also explored all the maps, so I think it's just down to micromanaging the base a little bit. Whole map's been explored. We don't have to worry about anything. All we got to remember to do is hook up new resources as they become exhausted. For example, this thing over here has become exhausted, which is why it's only giving 4.2. This one over here is still fresh, which is why it's giving plus 12. And all of that is being fed into these wood producers over here, which have all been upgraded. In fact, we might even add on more wood. Of the people? Actually, I think the first thing we're going to do is upgrade our food supply so we can build more houses to get more people, so that we can upgrade everything else. Threat level increased to 8. Yeah, I was kind of expecting that. Then we need to start getting into that weird bluey starwood stuff. Yeah, but we'll worry about that later. Looks like we have another raid inbound, and judging by the location over here, the only way in is through here, so they should come into this choke point. Considering we're threat level 10, we're gonna... I think 5 or 6 turrets and a whole bunch of walls will be the plan right here. And I think some of them, just in case some of them come around the sides, we'll leave a few areas with some turrets in them. But I'm thinking, time to turn off some power. What I should be doing during these is turning off our biggest power hogs. Like, these things take up 6 power. We can turn these off. Okay, it cripples our research, but that does free up a bunch of resources. I've also turned off one of the wood things. Then what we can do is put down some more towers. Yeah, give us another one of these. In fact, thinking... Come on, give us some more flux. Wow, our flux just goes up and down like a yo-yo. And we'll come back for you. We're going to go over here and make sure that when this thing spawns, we drag it all the way back home, and we'll plop down a few more towers at whatever flux we have available. Worst case scenario, we can sell all this stuff before we leave. Nope, here they come. What the... Is that a weird... It looks like a sort of a inflatable duck rolled... Like, it looks like one of those things, not like a swan or something that's been rolled out of balloons. Never mind. We need to drag you back to our defenses, and I need to make sure that those defenses have been increased. I don't know how tough these things are. Let's try... Well, okay, that kind of limits things. We're done on flux. Well, in that case, let's just keep running. Come on. All the way back here. All the way back here. And you can follow us to the turrets. Oh my god, the turrets are barely scratching that thing. Okay, never mind. They scratched it enough. Ooh. Alright. I feel like I almost over-prepared a bit. Actually, don't say that, Francis. Don't say that. And let's repair up while we've got the chance. And I think after this, though, we're going to leave. We've sort of got everything we can from this map. So the next attack that comes, we'll just jump. We'll move to the next location. Plus, yeah, we're on cycle 65. I think the longer the game goes on, the worse the threats are going to get. So let's maybe leave here shortly. Yep, here comes some more of them. Oof. That's some tough swans. And threat level has been increased. Perfect. I think it's time to turn off these turrets, except for a few of them, and then turn all of the rest of our powered stuff back on. Armored enemies. Some of the larger enemies are considered armored. Your wooden turrets are ineffective against them, dealing reduced damage. Upgrade your defensive buildings to be able to better deal with them. Well, our base is looking terrible, but, you know, we kind of got what we wanted out of this so far. I think it's time we upgraded our city core. Yeah, we got the necessary resources. This should help with our... What's that noise? Is someone scratching at our walls again? Ah, you can see there's actually some bits left over. I don't know how that happens, considering we've sort of wiped everything out. There shouldn't be anything left on the map, but never mind. You, upgrade. Right now, we can carry 55 weight. If we upgrade this, we can now carry 69 weight. Okay, that means we're going to need to drop some. Also cost us more fuel to take off, but that's okay. Next upgrade is going to cost us Stuff we haven't researched yet. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We can figure out ways around that. Right now, we're just sort of running down the clock a bit while we stockpile some flux, power, and all the bits and bobs that when we move to the next place, we won't die immediately. We have to keep the housing on the platform. All the stuff that's not on the platform is going to go. So I just want to keep what's important, which is housing, food production. Some of these, we're going to need to plug in wood immediately, I suppose. Also research and might get rid of the featherstone. I'm not sure we need it. Now, there is some other stuff they give you to help you tide you over. You see, you get this stuff you find when you wander around. Blood, nightmare juice, and drep dust. So you can convert that into bloodwood planks if you need it. You can also convert it into featherstone. And they're all the sort of the basic building blocks. So as long as you've got wood and featherstone, you can catch up. And even a bit of flux. So you can convert some of your junk into flux as well, which means you're kind of able to buy your way out of things, assuming you can kill a few things on the other side. Also, you can turn your starwood planks back into regular planks in case you stockpiled a bunch of those. Acid wood planks can be turned back into starwood planks, and feather crystal, which you mine, can be turned into featherstone. But I presume that's stuff we find lying around the place when we get to a desert map. We're not on one of those yet. I'm just trying to max out most of our flux before we move, because the moment in fact, before we even launch, I'm going to start turning off buildings. I do not like the thought of keeping these buildings on while we're transiting, otherwise it will cause huge problems. Though I would nearly like to be able to carry a bit more stuff. I was tempted by this floating device, but it's expensive. It's real expensive. It does allow us to carry 25 more, but it also increases our fuel costs, which means it's going to cost us 15 more fuel to take off. Oh, raid's approaching. You know what that means. Time to turn buildings off and get the flock out of here. I just realized we can leave this stuff on during takeoff. It doesn't actually matter, as far as I can tell. We should be able to keep power. That will allow us to power the turrets as well. In fact, you can be powered off, though. We shouldn't be getting any attacks from that side, and we'll just let everything keep processing until we take off. In fact, let's just crank the takeoff button now. I removed our workshop things. These workshops are what was making our upgrade materials, but they weigh 5 apiece. So knocking those off just brought us down below the takeoff allowance. So let's get out of here. How long does that take off? Oh. Right, takes a little bit of time. Hopefully the attack doesn't hit before then. Where's Tiny? Tiny's on the ship, city, whatever you want to call it. And now we can speed up time and get out of here. Right, charging. Well, I think we'll be out of here before the raid hits. Famous last words and all that. But I figure by the time they break through all the outside stuff, we should be mostly gone. Ooh, there's some stuff out there on the ground. No, you know what? Let's get back on the platform. Yep, back on the platform is fine. I can hear that raid inbound, and I do not want to be off the platform when the raid hits. Right. My concern, though, is we don't have any power generation on our platform, which means if we get to the other side, our power is just going to, like, plummet. Right, we have to leave all that junk behind, which is kind of sad. Destination select. Congratulations, your city is flying for the first time. In this screen, you can select where you want to land next. Select your landing spot. Carefully, your choices will affect the strength of the enemies, which resources will be on the map, and how many. Depends on the current global infestation level shown in the top left of the screen. If you don't like any of these options, you can fly elsewhere button to refresh your choices. Right, so we got a fly elsewhere button to refresh. Costs us 2 fuel of the 73 we got left. And was it desert was the one that gave us access to crystals? Yes. Ooh. Desert. Oh, our potatoes produce slower than desert. That will be a problem. Tech ruins. And unfertile. Farming production minus 35. That seems bad. Let me have a look through here. I don't have a lot of information to go on here, so I think we're going to try hitting the fly elsewhere button just to get a refresh of this. Best I can figure out, though. The deserts give you a negative no matter what to your potato production. Potatoes? I'm just calling them potatoes. Your potato production takes a hit no matter what you do if you go to the desert. This actually has some interesting bonuses like stable liquids, stable ground, build costs are reduced by 20%, and so are upgrade costs. That'd be a great place to do a whole bunch of upgrading. Thin veil, flux production speed is increased by 35%, and there's industrial ruins. I am really tempted by this one. This would be a great place to go do a whole bunch of upgrades, but they're low in bloodwood logs. From what I can see, this place will definitely carry crystal. Well, this place will carry crystal. Blightlands will carry acid shards, but neither will carry both. So if you want to do crystal upgrades, you got to go here. If you want to do acid upgrades, you got to go here. And the only way to get acid wood is through this section. Unless you've got materializers, which I think are things that generate stuff out of nothing. But by and large, these look meh. So let's try fly elsewhere and then compare and contrast. Right. So still not feeling it. I'm just gonna give this one more spin. Right, okay, no more. No more. I've done almost... Ooh. This place has no wood, though. That is a bit weird. I think we're going to take this one down here. Stable ground. I like the look of that. This actually appeals to me an awful lot because there's a bunch of upgrades I want to do with some bloodwood logs. Well, okay, the star tar logs or whatever. There is a... You can do more dangerous maps. They have a starting threat level of 4. Like, we've got to threat level 14 before we had to evacuate the map. So I think I would prefer to start on a little bit easier and then just crank it. We need a bunch of housing upgrades. Basically, that's what I want to get done. If we can get a bunch of housing upgrades, it puts us in a much stronger position. And this map looks like it's got everything we need. So let's go have a quick land and see how the landing sequence works on this. And then how quickly our economy collapses because we left most of our industry behind. Alright, let's see how this works out. Minus 32 power. Plus 48 flux. That's not going to last. The moment it lands, we're going to have to, like, pause and then, like, just power off everything. Like, everything's got to be stopped. Minus 32 power. Huh. How is our flux still plus 48? You know what? It's probably still trying to catch up. Yeah, I'm going to turn everything off. Turning off everything we can. We're still at minus 26.8 power. Whew. That's a thing. Right. People-wise, I think we can start turning some of the food off. I mean, food can last us for a while. How much is the actual power drain on those? No, it's a flux drain. There is no power drain from food at all except for the actual conversion of the food plants. Right, so where is that massive power drain coming from? Oh, wait. Never mind, I just had to unpause it and everything refreshed. Alright, okay. So, that means we just need to explore the map, find ourselves some wood, and then immediately use that wood to plug it into our system. Where's Tiny gone? Well, the enemies look like there's more of them. Ooh, I should maybe have researched some weapon upgrades to make this a bit faster, but they'll be grand. Oh, yeah, no, there's more of them. Oh, and we get to choose a new head of the council. Preferably someone who's a little bit better than the last one. Oh, that's a poison pill. Upgrade materials production speed plus 25%. Flux production minus 15. Or we could go with power production plus 30%, but upgrade materials minus 15%. Oh, you are monstrous. I think we'll take the power production. Thing is, I would like to get a little bit of a labor bonus, and I'm going to spread out the leaders. We could go really hard down science, and if you do, every time you increase your liking with them, they give you extra bonuses all the way up to the top. However, as you go down, it also increases the negatives you get. So if we only pick research, we'll basically end up with minus 15% to production speed and for harvesting and refining, and defensive buildings will also get negatives from military. So we kind of have to spread it out. So I was hoping to go double science, but you know what? We'll just make another materials production facility. It could work. Yeah, we'll take it. Fine. New election. Next election in 55 cycles. Well, that's just great. Right now, we've plugged in some wood. Wood is going in. We're also we've turned on tower production. We're going to truck down a bunch of power plants. In fact, power is only what? Yeah, it takes 5 of this crushed featherstone and some flux, both of which we're doing fine-ish with. And you can go right about there. Perfect. Now we just have to add on a few bits and bobs. Basically, oh, actually we can turn this on. Both of these can start producing starwood. Right. We're almost back up and running in a lot of ways. Oh, yeah, flux. Flux is the problem. We're going to need to crank that up in a bit as well. We have been preparing for, well, nothing, to be honest. We've sort of just been building. Right now, we have all of our wood up and running. We are churning, producing that, what's it called, starwood? The reason we want the starwood is so we can upgrade our houses. Upgrading our houses give us more workers. More workers is more good. At the same time, we will have to upgrade these potato farms so that we can produce more food. The problem is a little bit of a bottleneck on the food plant that converts it. We might have to build another one of those. Worry about that later. For now, what we got to do is get ready for this incoming raid that's about to hit us, and for that we're going to need more power. And then I'm thinking a whole bunch of turrets over this side. I've already put walls all the way around the outside. We got a niggle from a few baddies showing up, and they hurt one of our buildings, or they killed a couple of buildings. It was annoyingly expensive. So instead, we've put walls everywhere around. Now, I don't know where exactly these guys are going to hit, but I got to imagine it'll be either, well, it's top left, so it's going to be somewhere through here. So I figure we put about 4 or 5 towers here, reinforce the walls a bit, and we should be golden. While doing a little bit of clearance around here, we've managed to research the Starwood crossbow, which means we can finally do some crafting. I know I've been slow about getting around to this, but we had other priorities, namely research and such things, into more production. Ranged weapons deal 100% AoE, blah, blah, blah. Let's craft one. Perfect. And I believe we can pay for an upgrade on this if we've got the resources, which we do. It's a little bit expensive in terms of this Starwood, but let's go for it. We can even go up again if we can get our hands on some acid wood, but I am not going to worry about that. Instead, I'm going to equip it and see what it does. Right. What I remember, character window. No, that's... Yeah, it's got to be this one. Perfect. Now, how do we swap weapon? That's the light crossbow. We don't want to use that one. We want to use the new one. Alternate weapons. Press X. There we go. Perfect. Now, let's see what this does. Ooh. Alright, it definitely hits harder. Oh my. But it has a far slower rate of fire. I like it. And there's our second batch of wood. Ooh, and it's got better range too. Oh, that's... delicious. Nope. Well, we've got that attack inbound. Yeah, they seem to be coming this direction. Let's see if we can't get out ahead of them. Oh, yeah. I wish I'd invested in this a while ago. Oh, I suppose you wouldn't be able to... Oh, my. This is going to make dealing with these much easier, though I suppose this is the small waves. Like, we've dealt with waves like this pretty handily with the default crossbow. So it's not like this is a big, was going to be a big problem anyway. Why do I feel like someone's nibbling on a wall somewhere? Because someone is nibbling on a wall somewhere, aren't they? 1 second. Yep. Where did you come from? You know what? I am going to leave the current side we're on dealing with its problems, and we're going to go take care of that one real quick. I'm pretty sure our crossbows can take care of that mess. Where are you? Oh, they've gotten in. Don't, that's expensive. It was a collector's edition. No. I can't see it, but I know there's one somewhere there. Okay, perfect. Problem. Wait. Where's that noise coming from? We have found ourselves another monument out here, and I'm thinking I'm liking what's in it. We go into it, you can craft stuff here, and there's no weapon this time around, but instead we get an upgrade kit, which we can handily afford. That should mean if we go in here, we already have an unassigned upgrade point. Ooh, decisions. Now, while I would like to start increasing our gathering at some point, I think I'm going to commit to, well, upgrade of upgrades. Yeah, another one in there, and we're going to buy another upgrade point, and we're going to chuck it in there. That means we need 2 more upgrade points, and we'll be able to get upgrade production 3, which max materializer is allowed. You know what? Not going to worry about it. I am not regretting yet going down this path. All right, you. What do you got left? Yeah, you've already been taken. Basically that's expended now. There's nothing we can do with it. Let's see if we can't find ourselves more resources. Oh, wow! Just realised that wood down in the bottom left of our map, all the way over here, has already been depleted. We're going to need to hook up some more wood into the system to keep this thing running at full tilt. I mean, we've got a second one running over here, but once that one starts to go, we'll have to hook in another. We are churning through the resources. I am loving this build so far. Huh. That raid happened pretty fast. Well, time to go prepare the other side of the base. Due to some mess-ups with, well, where I placed a few things, like where the wood was coming from, we may have accidentally starved ourselves of wood a bit. That's okay. We've got 2 turrets, and we've got this guy's crossbow, which is a pretty good crossbow. How's that guy still alive? Perfect. See? That worked out just fine. But there's still 1 attack inbound. And wood is now starting to go back up again. In fact, we can stick down a 3rd turret, and I think we will be golden right about here. Should probably see about upgrading those turrets a little bit, but we're good. And let's see what the newest wave is like. Oh, yep, one of the biggies out front, and immediately gets killed by the armor-piercing crossbow. I am liking this crossbow for just taking care of the biggies. That's what kind of messed us up the last time. I was trying to get close to those big ones. Nope. And you over there, you need to get shot. Well, once all the fodder stops getting in the way. Problem solved. I think that went incredibly well. Now we just gotta get our wood back up and running. Oh, that was a real big mess up on my part, but it's okay. It's okay. Wood is flowing again. I just had it going the wrong way in a belt, and another raid is approaching. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've been basically knocking out this tech in the background, and we've now got access to blueberries, and soon we'll have blueberry power, which should hopefully change our power requirements. And I think we're done on these sort of smaller maps with wood and stone and stuff, because we need some of the higher level things. We need to get our hands on... Where is it? Ah, yeah, this stuff, so we can upgrade our city core. So we need to either knock out one of those techs. Oh, and housing-wise, these guys have already been upgraded to level 2. To get to level 3, we need that weird glowy rock stuff, so we need to go to a desert to upgrade our houses to the next level. And I kind of think that's the plan. So the next jump would be to get those rocks, the weird sort of deserty rocks, and then after that you're going to want the acid rocks so that you can upgrade... You know, I was thinking something required acid rocks, but it's just the city core. This is the only thing that requires anything that's not those shiny rocks. So we need to go to the desert to get those shiny rocks. Anyway, let's deal with this next attack. We've already overloaded a little bit on turrets, and maybe wall in just a little bit tighter. We want to make sure nothing gets through here, if at all possible. Yeah, same stuff again, but as long as you get enough walls, it seems we can hold them back for now. Huh. I'm pretty sure we didn't even lose anything there. A little bit of repairs should sort things out. And, oh, yeah, there's one more wave to go, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to get ruffle stomped. Ooh, that guy's pretty tough. Whoop, 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 whoop. Never mind. Wow. Oh, yeah, that's a fair chunk. And... Right, we're going to need to start investing in stone soon, aren't we? Ooh. Still... Held out easy peasy. Upgrade-wise, things have been going along nicely. We've got administration up to 7, which is really helping our flux and power production. However, I think now it's time to start getting into gathering. We've got pretty much everything in here we want. I really would like to actually put 3 points into research just to really crank that up, but that's a lot of effort. Housing upkeep is minus 20%. That's only... It's only food, which... No, don't care. We're just going to go straight into gathering, I think. We'll start putting points into gathering and working that up. That'll help us with refining, harvesting, and... Ooh, lots of big deal to get. Will farming work with that? I think potatoes are affected. They seem to have gone up to 6.8. However, food production has not been affected, so... Yeah, it doesn't matter. Our output from this is still the limiter, and for that we need those special fancy rock things. Also, we've almost cleared out the map. Not quite, but we're getting close to it. I don't think there's much point to doing it, though, with this. Well, what I've discovered is... All we really want from this map is lots and lots and lots of wood. Maybe so we could do things like upgrade these to level 3. These wood farms can be upgraded to level 3, and all it takes is that, whatchamacallit, wood. This stuff, the star wood. So I have just sort of been doubling and tripling down on top of making as much star wood as possible. I think I'm also going to need to put in some more of this, tar extractors, because we're going to start eating through our backlog in a bit. But I think we've got just about everything we need from this map, and after the next wave, I think we'll get ready to leave. No, I think we may have stayed here too long. We've got another head of council choice. Please, someone better than the last one. Well, this is going to be awkward. I just realized we have no chance to get out of this. We're stuck picking a new head, which means we're about to go into a massive power deficit just as an enemy raid hits us, namely because, well, I had this one in charge. It gives a production speed bonus to power of 30%. I didn't realize she was about to vanish. Fine, we'll go with the military guy, I suppose, because I'm going to try and keep these all even for now. Great. And our power just suddenly goes from plus 20 to minus 20. Yay! Let's go home and see what happened. Well, I do believe they are coming. Where are you? Yeah, there you are. A few new ones I think are showing up as well. We finally started hitting... I think once you get past threat level 10, they start showing some newer mobs. That it? Oh, there's actually another mob coming over the other side. We got enough defenses. I installed a whole bunch of turrets. I was taking no chances. Oof. They look pretty tough, actually. Never mind. Explosives, arrows. Seriously? How are you not dead? Okay. They were actually pretty tough. And now they're repaired. Yep. All damage fixed. And then we're ready for the next wave, which will probably be along in about 2 seconds. And we're looking over the other side. I think the other side barely got scratched. Oh, look, it's the weird balloon duck things. Yeah. Okay. So, I think we're going to be leaving next round. The fact that they chewed through 2 sets of walls, no, makes me very, very uncomfortable. And I think the only way we'd be able to stop them is if we got better defenses. Better defenses require us to get our hands on stone. Right now we have access to stone walls. Soon we'll have access to stone turrets. Unfortunately, we need to get our hands on some sort of carbonite or something to make those things, which is not available on these maps, but I figured that's just about normal. While we're waiting for the next threat to hit, I thought we'd spend all those people I've been stockpiling because I haven't really been using them, which I should have been. What I want to do here is just say, grab one of you, grab 2 labs, then immediately grab the tar thingy that fills them, rotate you around, stick you right there, and then feed it in. That's going to take a bunch of power, but that's okay. We can afford to stick down a few more of these power thingies because we've got people. And we're going to be leaving shortly anyway. What is that scratching noise? Oh, never mind. It was some baddies were knocking on the door. Alright, so this should keep both of these running. Assuming they, at some point, yeah, they'll catch back up. So that should drastically increase our research. We've still got 7 people left. I would almost like to throw together another one of these workshops just until the end of the round. Actually, could we squeeze one in somewhere? Perfect. 2 more set up down here. Power's just about fine. Ooh, our flux is looking a little bit low. I would prefer to have more flux when we get to the other side. Does that mean I have to delete those? I'd rather not. Ooh, no. Easy peasy. We can turn off a bunch of this. It frees up a bunch of power. There's actually a little power tool built in here, so you can just go, yep. Turn all of these off. That frees up 7 power. I will still leave a turret on here and there, just because, you know, there's the odd thing that shows up at the door with a bit of a knock. And we'd like to make sure there's someone there to answer. Done. Then that frees up enough power that we can quickly put down 3 more of these little flux vats. That'll give us just a little bit more flux to help top us up. How is there flux only that much? Oh, it's the research labs. This things consume... Actually, no, they don't even consume that much flux. I need to do a few modifications here. Well, the threat level just went up to 14, which means I'm pretty sure there's going to be an attack. Probably in the 150 cycle would be my guess, which is just about now. Nope. Never mind, I thought it'd be a nice round number. There we go. Raid preparing. Oh yeah, excellent. Then I need to not make the same mistake I did last time. I just sell off this stuff so it goes into storage so I could use it when I rebuild the next time. I left a whole bunch of stuff behind. I shouldn't have done that. Towers maybe, walls maybe, but all of this flux stuff, that all needs to go. I just need to cut down our carry capacity to 69. This could be tricky. We gotta find new locations for this stuff. Like, if this stuff is on the platform, increases our weight. That power generator can go over here somewhere. Some of this stuff we're probably going to sell just before takeoff to make sure it's not going to cause us any problems. What are you? Oh no, you're definitely off. I can't actually figure out where the platform is half the time. I think I'm going to add on a flotation device. It's just... Yeah, it may be expensive, it may cost us a couple more fuel, but you know what? I would like to be able to carry some more of this stuff with us when we go. I think that'll do. We've kept most of the good stuff on here that we need. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of what we're supposed to be doing here. Just let's start the takeoff process anyway. We've got 87, 94. We could take more. I don't really care. We got our guy on board. Yep, let's have him clean up any stuff that's still left lying around the place. But by and large, I think we nailed this round. Then it's just a case of seeing what's the next place we can land. Right, they're on their way. We're almost done. And I think what I'm going to do is wait till just the last second. Then what I'm going to do is sell off a bunch of stuff. Because there's a whole bunch of resources still left behind that we can take advantage of. So, give me a minute while I delete a bunch of junk. Only thing left behind is turrets. That's it. We demolished everything else. Now that of course has put our power redlined the absolute bejesus out of it. But that's fine. We're leaving this planet anyway, so who cares? Okay, land place. Do all your tech and research and upgrades, and then immediately get out of there by the time it hits threat level 15 and that raid hits. Until we get the next level of tech, which will allow us to kill those raids so we can stay longer in the next place. Oh, now I see. Map difficulties are going up, eh? What we're trying to get our hands on here is a bunch of this crystal, but there's only one map that has it, and it looks terrible. Yeah, we're just gonna fly elsewhere. Give us a map with that crystal, would you? Great, but it starts at threat level 9. That could be a problem. Much better. This one down here in the middle, it's got crystals, it's even got that Kabata stuff that we'd like, some raw featherstone, and the bloodwood logs. It's got all 4 resources. It's also got a motivated, production speed plus 20% for our upgrade materials, a fuel cache, so when we do leave we'll have some more fuel with us, industrial ruins for some blueprints, and okay, it's a desert, so a desert's a desert. I'm thinking that's our best bet. Weird idea for a game. I kinda get it, but I also kinda don't. What I get about the game is you have little Tiny down here. Tiny goes around and does all your killing stuff at the start to clear out the resource nodes for you. That's pretty good. You get to run around the map killing stuff, and you do get a little bit of resources out of it that you can craft in here. They're not really worth a lot, but, you know, at least it gives you something to do, and it's kind of entertaining. The weird bit that kind of works, but doesn't work... how can I explain this? You have to sort of restart every so often. Every time you fly to a new location, you pretty much have to clear out new spaces, plug in all the resources. And I mean, okay, the difficulty is ramping up. We're starting on threat level 4. All of the mobs we run into here, they're all going to be at threat level 4 to start. They spawn on the map, depending on the threat level. So the longer it takes me to get through the map, the tougher the enemies at the very end of the map are going to be. So since we're starting at level 4, it'll take me longer to get through the early ones, which means by the time I get to the end, it's going to be not just say it normally takes me till threat level from 0 to 10. Now instead of going from 4 to 14, I'll be going from 4 to like 19 or something, because it'll just take me so long to grind through at the end. So we do have to stay on top of research, get new weapons. I'll probably get my hands on one of those repeating crossbows. That seems like a smart idea. It may not have the splash, but I think the faster rate of fire is handier with some of them. There's things you can do. However, you still got to sort of restart. I'm not sure. It's like I sort of every time in between landing, you kind of lose your motivation a bit. I mean, I'm sure it'll come back, but I feel like this will be one game where you do a run, then you go away, then maybe a day or two later you come back and do another run. It doesn't feel like one where I'd sit down and I'd have to keep playing to, you know, crack open that next tech or get that next upgrade, which I think might have hurt the game. Maybe. Anyway, we'll see what the response is. I don't think this game is going to do so well, but if people are interested, we could do another couple episodes. I would kind of actually like to see where some of this tech goes. It gets weird where you start using juice to generate power. Like, for example, you can make blueberries, which you grow in a farm. There it is, Blueberry Farm. You get that Blueberry Farm and you feed it into a power plant. And using a Blueberry Farm, well, okay, you need 1.3 Blueberry Farms. You can plump it into a power plant and generate a lot of power. It uses about the same amount of people, but it only takes you a couple of buildings to do what would normally be about 4 power plants worth of work. So it reduces the power plant footprint so you can fit more power onto your platform so you don't have to carry as much power between levels. Though realistically, I usually don't bother. I just bring wood, and then the moment I pop out the other side, I can just throw in a power generator. They cost like 35 flux and 6 crushed featherstone. And as long as I bring enough of each of those with me, I can just spam a bunch of power generators and we're done. But yeah, there's a few things in there I'd like to play around with. Anyway, I'm just going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck.